Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Wednesday, May the 13th, the year 2020. Let's talk trading. Size matters. Now, I know some of you might be smiling, and I know what you're thinking, but we're talking about trading here, okay? And just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. If you need trading, investment, or financial advice, seek the advice of an accredited financial professional. Size matters. You know, the thing about size in trading is you have to find that optimal size where that you trade with enough size that it gets your attention. It makes you focus. But you don't trade so big that you're nervous about it, where you're just always on edge and fraught. And you don't want to trade too small where you don't care. It's like, eh. So you have to find that spot somewhere in between where, once again, it really makes you pay attention to what you're doing. Makes you think before you push that button. It makes sure you have your trading plan in place. Because if you wind up taking a loss on the trade, you're going to hit your risk, and that's the amount you're willing to trade or willing to lose on any one given trade. And so when you lose, it really shouldn't hurt you mentally, emotionally. You should just be able to shrug it off and go, okay, that one didn't work out. Let's move on to the next. And if it happens again, you should be able to shrug it off. And so that's why size matters in trading. And a lot of you who get out there and you want to make that Ferrari money, that Lamborghini money, but you're trading bubblegum machine money. So, it's just you have to have the proper size for what you want out of it. So, yeah, you can start out with a small account and you can grow it, but let's just be realistic. Let's just say you open an account with $1,000. If you trade a dime a pip, is it really going to matter to you? Is it? I mean, is $1 or a dime a pip going to matter to you? Especially, let's say, if you have a 10 pips, it's a buck. That, so maybe you lose 10 a buck on a trade. It's not going to matter to you. That's not enough to get your attention. But let's say you trade $1 a pip. That's 10 bucks if you lose 10 pips. Will 10 bucks get your attention? Maybe, maybe not. What about 20 bucks? If you were to lose 20 bucks, risking $2 a pip. What about 50 bucks? Or what about 100? You have to determine what size is really going to make you pay attention. Maybe make you think twice. Not necessarily hesitate, but makes you think things through before you enter a trade. So you don't airball a trade, or you go, oh, what the heck? Let's just see what happens. When you're dealing with size that matters, no, let's not just see what happens. No, let's put this trade on when we know statistically everything's in our favor. So just keep that in mind, because also you have to engage your brain so you don't have any FOMO and you don't have any ROMO. And if you do it properly, you're not going to get any pain, because pain doesn't come from the market. It comes from your reaction to the market. It comes from your reaction. So if that price turns against you and it hits your stop loss, you shouldn't feel any pain. You might not like it, but you really shouldn't be too upset or experience mental anguish. And that's part of a learning. That's part of your learning as a trader, that you can just shrug off the loss and wait for your next turn. So, I hope that helps you with the psychology part of trading, which is probably, it's definitely one of the most important pieces. And as I mentioned, we filled all the gaps this week. Notice here, price broke out at a previous week's low, and right now it's 39 pips below it. Simple horizontal line trade. Everything's red here on the pound. And you can see here it came up and touched the, I believe that's the, is that the pivot? I forget what, I always forget which one I have set on this. I believe it's the mid dot. Yeah, it's the previous mid, because this is magenta and I usually use purple for the pivot. So you can see here on each one of these days it touched it and then just reversed right through it. First day of the week range, you can see here we entered and then we fell through at the 122.82 area right here. So 57 pips below that. Simple trade. We didn't get an inside bar trade here. As you can see, we're almost to the weekly inside bar low of 6 weeks ago. And on the range, we've got 3, 6, 9, 10 above 100. And you can see the pound dollar is clocking in at 122. We had a long bias here. The pivot was way above the open. You had some long triggers and took out that pivot, came back in, took it out a second time. And then as you can see here, we were already below the weekly open, and then we crossed below the daily open, and the rest is history for the past couple of hours, right? And red rats feasted, and now it's the green rats' turn. And for those of you, there's still people asking about the rat. The smart rat is a 2020 donational indicator. Okay, we took out the pivot, and there's that weekly pivot we already took out. The monthly pivot was hit before it was last week we hit that. Once again, took out the daily pivot. Was in the upper wick zone, fell through. We actually crisscrossed through the bottom wick zone once, in and out a couple more times, and then right through it. The wall mall, there were some very interesting wall mall trades past couple of hours. So those of you who are trading the wall mall method, it definitely gave some clear signals and paid off. And simple price action here. Candle color at the line. It's not that difficult. You had a 2 ball here, red at the line. 3 ball here, it was green at the line. Already was good for 10 pips there or more. On the map, you can see the H1 ranges have been nice. You should be able to take a few pips off of those. You can see where prices made a new high. Then there was an inside bar here on H1. I know that because that was a trade I took earlier in the day. I kind of wish I would have just stuck with it, because you could see what happened here. I mean, we're talking mega pips. What, about 90 pips there? But I popped out a little early. And actually, the brokers were doing something. It was taking almost a minute. I'd hit buy or sell or close, and it was taking almost a minute for a report. And that just drives me nuts, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know where you got filled till almost a minute later. It really can mess with mess with your head. So it's just something that's just it happens sometimes. Um, you, you're aware of it, but it can get to you. And sometimes if something's getting to you, you can always back away. You get out of the trade, back away. You know, you're not going to miss anything. You're really because if you miss one move, you'll be able to be there for the next move. So just don't worry about those. Um, oh, let me see. What did I do here? Just looking at the what was I doing with this screen? This chart. Oh yeah, we were looking at the tops and bottoms that have not been crisscrossed. At least I think that's what we were looking at. Because it looks like only show not crisscross. Oh, we need to set that to true. And as you can see, a lot of things go away. But if you move, wow, how many bars back was I going? Oh, I just had 24 bars. Oh. That's interesting. Let's see, shift one, only show near true. Let's turn that to false. And I'm still not getting anything. I wonder if I have to fix something else in here. Show lines true. Only show not crisscross. Let me put the false back up there. And there we go. Well, actually, see, that's been all up. Maybe the only one that shouldn't be crisscrossed should show one of them, I would think. I might have to look at that indicator. Maybe I missed something when I fixed that one little problem. So anyway, I will definitely have to take a look at that. But you can see here, when the lines get crisscrossed, they should go away. And you're looking for lines that haven't been crisscrossed. And the only one should be this one right here. Because everything else, and actually, yeah, everything else has been crisscrossed. So, fellow traders, when you're out there trading, remember size matters. You have to figure out what that size is for you. I can't tell you. But you know what that size is that makes you shake or makes you sweat or makes you worry. That's too big. And if you don't care about it, you go, oh, what the heck? That's too small. So you got to find the right size. So remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And if this is your first time here, hit subscribe, hit like, click on the bell so you get notified when I put up the video. And then go down and share the video on trading forums and Facebook and wherever. Let people know. The Rumpled One, signing out.